I'm really proud of these guys. That was a great win. That's a hard team to play against. It's a hard team to prepare for. They're unique in a lot of ways. I'm glad we scheduled Northwestern and Vanderbilt because they run similar stuff, and so at least it wasn't completely foreign to us. Offensively, their offense, but defensively they switch everything, which is really unique in college basketball. And they did a great job and made it hard on us. But our guys stayed the course in a game that, that you almost have to play their way, and credit to them for that.
I know you played without Clark over the weekend for most of the game, but just how proud are you of these guys again?
Yeah, and it's different when then other teams start preparing for it and everything else. And I thought our guys did a great job. They tried to extend the floor on Barlow and Rose did an awesome job handling the ball. And 11 turnovers against a team that is in the top 50 in the country, forcing 24% of the time. Turnovers is outstanding. So I'm really proud of how our guys handled the basketball, especially.
You didn't hit a lot of threes, hit a lot of open outside shots, but you seem to spread the floor still pretty well. Would you agree?
Part of that is that them. I mean, they're gonna guard the 3-point line because they're gonna switch out, which is gonna open up the interior, which we didn't do a good enough job early of getting the ball inside to Andrew. Did a better job late. That's how they play. And with Williams out, we've got to expose that a little bit better than we did early.
Brad, have you ever seen a Butler team or probably any college basketball team out-rebound its opponent 53 to 20? I mean, you just almost never see that.
Well, we needed to, right? I mean, that was our advantage tonight. I think those guards that they have can really go and burst in bunches, can really score, but they're small with Williams out of the game. And so that was going to be a major emphasis for us. We talked about it all week about getting on the glass better than we have. And we're going to have to be opportunistic. We're going to have to go just as hard on Saturday, but we're not going to get 20 offensive rebounds, but you got to go just as hard, and you've got to try to figure out a way to scrape out, a good percentage of them.
You mentioned the 20 offensive rebounds. To have the 20 offensive rebounds, out-rebound them at that end of the floor, how big a deal is that?
Again, I think that's what we needed to do, and if they're going to switch everything, you're going to have guards on Andrew and Rose and Kyle anyways, and so those guys need to be able to expose that. And that, again, the switching is a hard thing to attack, and so you've got to do your best to get it inside and then attack the rim on the rebound.
Andrew, Coach elaborated on it some, but specifically on offense, how was the way Butler played offense influenced by Rodney's absence?
We obviously without Rodney, we lose one of our shooters, so we kind of focus on getting inside a little bit more. But it really didn't change a whole lot. I mean, we still have Kellen and Chase out there shooting the ball, and Andy was shooting the ball today as well. So it doesn't really change a whole lot. It was more just different because of who we were playing, not because Rodney was in the game.
That's correct. I think we have a tendency with young college basketball, we think they're going to have a lot of rapid improvement. But during the senior season, you almost seem to add something to your game every week, and recently you've been piling up the assists. Is this as comfortable as you've ever felt playing college basketball?
Yeah, when you play in a system for 4 years, you get comfortable with it, and every single game, even if it's your senior year, it gets a little bit easier every time. And our guys have been great about getting open and finishing. Cam had 2 great finishes today off of my passes, and it just the whole court's opened up a little bit for everybody.
You had 6 offensive boards tonight, and you guys beat them that end of the board. More offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. Talk about the mentality of that. I know you guys were not a great shooting team. What went into that performance on the glass?
Like Coach Stevens said, it was focus for us to get more rebounds. So plus when they're doing switching man, we got smaller mans on me and Andrew and Kyle. So it was easier when it was long bounces for us to tip it or either grab it for our team.
Well, what happened on that technical and what's the fine for that?
I thought I got fouled. I told the ref I thought he grabbed my arm. And technical.
Fine for that?
He knows better than that.
Coach, this seemed very businesslike from the get-go. Almost like you were just trying to get out of here with the win tonight and move on.
Not me. But I was really. Our whole team was focused. You could tell by the way we came out. These guys were ready for Richmond. And it's easy to talk about the buzz, and the bottom line is we can't focus on the buzz this week. We just have to play the game. We have to focus on getting ready to play the game. And so I didn't have any question that this team would be that. And sometimes when you lose a guy, it heightens your focus anyways because it throws people into new roles. New guys are playing. It's going to throw them into, Rowe's going to play a little bit more point. Barlow's going to play more point. And so, I think Andrew said it best. The challenges or the way that we played offensively and the tweaks we had to make offensively were not due to change in personnel. It was due to the way Richmond guarded.
Right, you guys have played 3 A-10 games so far, 2 on the road, 2 of the most difficult places in the conference to play, and then at home tonight against a style that's very unique in terms of the conference. 3-0, how's it feel, and are you surprised that, I don't want to say it's been easy because it hasn't been, but that you're at this point already?
And I don't mean to sound like flippant by any means, but I don't really pay attention to our record. I pay attention to getting better, and I pay attention to the day-by-day process. I've been through this long enough to know 3 out of 16 is not enough, not a big enough sample size. If we get to 12, we get to 13 games in, and then you're still in the mix or still in the race, that's a different story. But, our next 3, and our first 3 are like as hard as anybody's first 3, and our next 3 are as hard as anybody's next 3 in conference. When you take at LaSalle, Temple at home, at St. Louis, I mean, we don't get a break with this group. We're just going to keep on trying to play as well as we can. And oh, by the way, Gonzaga on Saturday.
Right, now you can talk about Gonzaga now that Richmond's passed. Gonzaga and Butler have kind of been held up as the standard bearers for basketball programs that don't have massive football budgets. Do you see any resemblance in the way the 2 programs are built, or do you think they just both got to the same place from 2 different directions?
Well, I think, we have just an unbelievable respect for Gonzaga and have from afar, from a long time. The biggest influence of Gonzaga on our program was scheduling, the way that they've scheduled. They buy a handful of games and then they play anyone, anywhere, as long as they'll either come back to Spokane or play them on a neutral court. And so we've modeled that. We've done our best to model that. We haven't perfected it yet, but we've really tried. And since 2005-06, we played anybody, anywhere, and that was due to Gonzaga's influence.
Are you indifferent to playing a non-league game sort of in the middle of the league season, or do you find that?
This is one of those things, David, where you talk about Final Fours bucket list, Maui bucket list, NIT championship bucket list. College game day is coming to Hinkle Fieldhouse. You play when they tell you you're playing, and I think that that's appropriate. It's going to bring a great deal of attention to Butler. Butler is a great place to be, and Butler's a place that can use all the attention we can get.